morning and welcome to EPS 2019. We're coming to you live from the Indian Association Cricket Ground in Balestier, Singapore. It's a national holiday today, that being Chinese New Year, so we'll take this opportunity to wish everybody in Singapore and around the world a very happy Chinese New Year. This leg of EPS 2019 is going to have both the 50-over format and the T20 format. And as usual, SG Crescents, SG Crimsons and SG Stars will be vying for honours. Today's curtain raiser is going to be between SG Crescents and SG Crimsons. If you are anywhere near, please do come down to the ground. It's a beautiful day and the crowd is building and the festivities are about to start. So let's have a look at the wicket where all the action is going to be taking place in a little while. It reminds me of an old Sarja wicket. It's got a little tinge of shine to it. Firm. It has been under covers last evening, so it's held well together. I wouldn't be surprised if the team winning the toss would elect to bat first. With beautiful outfield and value for shots, I think it's going to be a great game of cricket. Also early on, since the wicket was under covers, it'll assist the seam bowlers for the first 10 to 15 overs. But from there on, if you're a batsman, you'll be licking your lips on this. Shortly, we'll be joining the two captains for the toss. SG Crimsons and SG Crescents have international stars that have played the game at the highest level, and also their country rep cricketers, and also features the top talent from Singapore and also emerging youngsters. So it's going to be a great game. If you're anywhere near, come down and watch the cricket. See you shortly with the toss. Can we have the two captains, please? Crimson's captain. Gentlemen, we will toss from here and we will face the camera on the right side of the side screen. So, yeah. No, it's fine. We'll just have them here. Good morning, Manpreet. Good luck for the game. Good morning, Kaba. Good luck for the game. Yeah. You can stand here. Face the camera over there. The toss is going to go. Who wins the toss will have a little chat, followed by the captain who loses the toss. Right? Okay. It's time for the toss. I have the two captains of SG Crimsons and SG Crescents with me, along with the umpires. So, who's going to be doing the calling? one is a tail. Okay. You can.
Crimson will spin. Crescent.
Okay, okay, thank you. Heads.
Heads. What's the ball? Tails today.
It's tails, and the Crimsons have won the toss and to bat. Carabao, welcome to Singapore. Welcome to the session. Botswana captain, Dumelara. What are the plans for the game?
We've decided to bat first. Having a look at the surface, it looks quite, and from the as I've gotten around, is that it will be better to bat in the morning because it crumbles a bit going into the afternoon. It becomes a bit more difficult for batting.
We're excited to have you. How's the team going, and who are the other foreign players, and who are the young talent in your team you're looking for?
From what I've seen, we've only had one training session. In terms of Singapore boys, I've seen Rohan looks like a very good bat. The lad behind the stumps, I'm not sure of his name, looks a decent keeper and bat as well. In terms of the other foreign players, we have Tafara from Zimbabwe and Kenneth from Uganda, an all-rounder. Tafara is a quick bowler. So yeah, we hope to do well when we're going through the tournament.
Good luck for the game.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Manpreet. What would you have done had you won the toss?
Actually, obviously, we were looking for the bat, so unfortunately we lost the toss. So it's okay. There's not a problem for each of anything. So we're gonna ball first. So it's fine for us as well.
Who are the foreign players in your side?
Actually, foreign players from Uganda. So, 2 under-19 players as well. So let's see how they perform today.
What are you looking to restrict the Crimsons to?
We'll try a 140, 150 there, so we can chase easily on that.
Good luck for the game.
Thank you very much.
There you have it. SG toss and elect to bat. See you live entry. Singapore, let's play! 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 Singapore, let's play!
Singapore, let's play!
Singapore, let's play! Singapore, let's play! Singapore, let's play! Right, we are about to get underway here. EPS 2019, the first game between SG Crimsons and SG Crescents. The batsmen are walking down to the park now. Crimsons won the toss and elected to bat. I think it'll be a good toss to have won. SG Crescents are starting from the pavilion end at the Indian Association here. It's going to be a vital session with the new ball for both the bowlers and the batsmen. I think the batters will look to get the run scoring while the ball is still new and hard. The outfield is looking beautiful. It's going to be good value for shots. Manpreet Singh marshalling the troops, captaining SG Crescents for the first time. Wicket-keeper batsman, dashing player. And opening for Crimsons are Prasheen Param, and on the far side, Rohan Rangaraj. Right, we are all set. James Cox is taking the new ball. Rohan's played a lot of cricket on this ground. It's his home ground, the Indian Association. So he should be looking to build on the runs. We got a slip, a gully, the regular ring on the offside, the third man, and the fine leg are the fielders patrolling the boundary. Here we go. That's a very good first delivery. Can't say how important it is to get the first ball in the right area and challenge the batsman. There seemed to be good carry on the wicket. It was under covers till this morning. The first 10 to 15 overs should give good assistance with the new ball. It's a great delivery. Cox has a slightly unorthodox action. Reminds me of the great Pakistani fast bowler of years ago, Sohail Tanvir. He used to do it with the left hand. Play and a miss. Today's game is played with the AS Pro ball. It's quite similar to a kookaburra. It's a nice wide seam there and should assist the fast bowlers up front. Rohan Rangaraj coming down the track to do a little bit of gardening. Seem to have played and missed a few early. I think it's still wise to invest some time to get settled and understand the pace of the wicket. This is turning out to be a very good over. Cox is giving nothing away. Rangarajan neatly behind that delivery. Seems to have a lot of time to play the ball, which is a sign of a good player. Just when I was talking, Coxie up, fires one down the leg side. Manpreet Singh done well to get a hand to that one and stop a boundary. It's a good first over apart from that wide. Coxey's just conceded one. So SG Crimsons at the end of the first over, 1 for the loss of no wicket. It's a Chinese New Year holiday here in Singapore, and the crowd is slowly starting to build. We have beautiful weather here at the Indian Association Cricket Ground in Balestier, and it's looking a picture of a sight. I have over my right shoulder Mr. Mahesh Kumar, the gentleman in charge of the facilities. He's done a wonderful job to get the pitch ready. The outfield is looking beautiful. I think he takes great pride in his work, so I think he's going to be happy with this. We're going to have Charles Weiswa coming down from the Serangoon Road end. Rightio, left arm over the wicket. Here we go. Slightly down the leg side. Great bit of fielding by Cox. Tucked away there at fine leg after bowling a very good first over. He's put in a good bit of fielding there. Bang! Played it uppishly to backward point, and he's on his way. First wicket down for SG Crimsons. Slightly wide with the angle, got down on one knee, went for the shot, scored there smartly, backward point by Karthik Subramaniam. Prasheen Param perishes. I beg your pardon, Rohan Rangarajan perishes. It's the first ball he faced of Charles Weiswa. It was wide, and he went for it. He's paid the price. There seemed to have been a bit of a plan to get Rohan out in this way. There are a lot of players that play with each other in the local Premier League. So they know each other's games very well. The trap was set and sprung. SG Crescents will be very happy with this start. Charles Whisper digging it in there, back of a length. That's a sharp delivery that jacked back in. Karabo Motkana from Botswana, Botswana national captain, vice captain of SG Crimsons. In at number 3, probably one of their best batsmen in the side. So he has the responsibility to get in, take the Crimsons to a good total here. The wickets seem to be playing beautifully, especially with good bounce coming in from Serangoon Road end. Great line and length, a very good over. SG Crimsons 2 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 2 overs. Manpreet Singh having a little word to his quick. Seemed to be very happy with that first over. Right, the Crimsons need a partnership. The beautiful pictures that you're seeing and the stats are brought to us by Sportigo Live. Got my friend here, Dharmishan Muleva, and his team working away. It's wide and signaled by the umpire. Cox is not going to be happy with that noise, the captain. You want to keep the pressure on. Oh, that's brilliantly taken by Manpreet Singh. Stopped a certain boundary. James Cox is releasing the ball at decent heat, but he seems to have got his radar a bit wrong this morning. Let's see. It's a much better delivery. It's a beautiful day for cricket, and the crowd is steadily gathering at the Indian Association. I've been told the band is going to start playing any moment. Looking for a quick single. Looking to turn it into 2. Good running between the wickets here. Prasheen Param neatly punching it to wide long on, where Ananta Krishna is hovering. Good young batsman Prasheen Param. Tall, elegant right-hander. Just let that one go. Once again, we've got a slip and a gully in place. Manpreet Singh looking to snatch a couple of early wickets here with the breaks on the Crimson's charge. Back of a length, left alone. We are playing on wicket number 1 here today at the Indian Association ground. So I've been told it's a good wicket for spinners later on. There seemed to be a deliberate plan, bowling that 6th to 7th stump outside the off stump. Prasheen Param, being a smart cookie, doesn't want anything to do with it. He's leaving it well alone. Good strong finish to the 3rd over, at the end of 3. Crimsons are 6 for the loss of 1 wicket. It's great to see this morning both teams going through their preparations, hydration, and the entire setup was looking very professional, and there was great intensity, and both teams want to win and get that first win under their belt nice and early in this EPS 2019. That was a beautiful shot, slightly short, wide, cut away for 4. No stopping that. Caribou giving it the kitchen sink. It's powerfully cut away for 4. Once again, there seems to be a plan to try and get Caribou to keep playing that shot. Probably attack him in the same place. Much tighter this time. He's bowled him. That is a big loss for the SG Crimsons. Charles Wishford doing the number with the ball here. SG Crimsons losing 2 early wickets in the 4th over. That one jagged back. Great line and length. I think Prashin Param has now walked into bat. I think they've switched the jerseys on each other. The 2 brothers out there in the middle for SG Crimsons got a job on their hands. Was a very good first delivery by Charles. Bowling good areas here, maintaining the pressure. It's a great chance and opportunity for these youngsters to put their hand up and make a name for themselves on this great platform that's been provided with a good quality of cricket being played. Once again, getting well behind it, comfortably playing it down. Looks a good player. Manpreet Singh marshalling his troops, getting them into the exact positions that he wants. Right, Cox is away from the Balestier end. That is one of the most colourful follow-throughs that I've ever seen in cricket. Seems to be having a little dance, and why not? Full toss, punched away past mid-on. Anantakrishna uses the trusted left boot, or the right it might have been. Keeps it down to 1. Seems to be a little conference going there. Shahrukh Dar with a word of advice. Played uppishly but through the covers. 4 runs. The Crescents wouldn't be minding that. Prasheen seemed to have liked that delivery and got stuck right into it. Tucked away to square leg. Off the pads, leg by signalled. Manpreet Singh making a slight adjustment to remove the slip and bring him to an attacking short cover position. Now in Paramount strike. Tucked away to the leg side, looking for 2. Shahrukh Dar with a tumbling stop, recovery and throw in. Once again on the feet. This time cut off at mid-wicket, no single. Prasheen and Navin Param, the brothers. 2 young talented players, elegant batsmen. They have a job on their hands to see the new ball through and then build a valuable partnership for their team. Prasheen seems to be adopting a rather wide stance, getting his pad right out of the way. Jagged back in. Charles is bowling a beautiful line and length here, keeping it really tight, putting pressure on the Crimson's batsman with every delivery. It's a great initiative by the Singapore Cricket Association to organize this EPS and provide this ecosystem and the platform for the youngsters to show their talent. Once again, beautifully behind the line. I like what I see with this kid. He's got a lot of time to play the ball. It's a good head on his shoulders. Seems calm and collected. Once again, giving nothing away. Charles is asking the right questions from the batsman. That's a great delivery. Bent his back into that. Some real good purchase from the wicket. Good bounce there as well. It's looking like a good track to play cricket on. It's offering a bit for the bowlers, the batsmen, and later on for the spinners. Aritra Dutta is positioned there strategically at covers. The old tank is not allowing much to get past him. Right, the first bowling change happening from the Balestier Road end. Another promising youngster, Ariman, right arm, medium pace bowler. Strongly built lad, can hit them a fair distance as well when he's batting. Bowls at a good clip. Beautifully fielded. Aritra once again at short cover. He's deceptively quick. Manpreet Singh chirping away behind the stumps, encouraging his players. Shot, pulled away, beautiful shot. 4 runs. This wicket will reward batsmen who invest with patience. Beautifully rolled his wrists on top of that and helped himself to 4 runs. That's a much better delivery. Young Ariman's a quick learner. I think he got a word of advice from his captain as well in the ear. He's walking all the way with him, letting him know exactly what is required and expected of him. Good communications. And I'm sure it went something like that. If you ever bowl short again on this track, son, you're not going to be bowling too long. Quick single. Good understanding between the two batsmen. And I'm sure Prashid and Naveen will not look to run each other out. So big appeal, jacked back in off the seam. Young Ariman has a nice, rhythmic, repeatable action, and he seems to be building up speed with each delivery. But more importantly, bowling it in the right areas. That's a beautiful shot. 2 runs to deep extra cover. Good fielding there by the pair of the Crescents. I think it's Cox again and
Singapore, let's play!
young Winit Mehta. Charles seems to be continuing on from the Serangoon Road end. He's been keeping it tight, building the pressure, and not giving much away. Tucked away to short mid-wicket. Both Naveen and Prasheen Baram playing sensibly here. It's just what the doctor ordered for the Crimsons with the fall of 2 early wickets. Charles here is bowling a very good line and length and keeps asking the questions from the batsman. So quick single. Good running between the wickets here. Great understanding. Just a little touch and run. Caught the fielder at cover snapping. Charles bent his back on that delivery. Prasheen's not going to be too happy with that shot. He's going to put it away behind him and set up for the next delivery. This is great bowling. Charles showing his experience and his class, presenting the seam beautifully, making the ball jag both away and into the batsman. Great control. End of another very good over. SG Crimson's 26 for the loss of 2 wickets after 8 overs. Naveen and Prasheen going along nicely. Tucked away to mid-wicket. Shakuda patrolling the boundary. I'm joined by Aditya Rangaswamy, the SG Stars overseas player. He's from Botswana, he's a national player for Botswana. Fast bowling all-rounder. Dumela Ra, welcome.
Dumela, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How do you feel the experience of the EPS in Singapore?
So far, so good. Had a light training session yesterday, not with my teammates, but I just wanted to get a feel of what was happening here, the conditions and everything. I'm thoroughly enjoying my stay. Everyone's been very welcoming, and yeah, I'm just hoping to have a really fruitful tour.
That was a good delivery by Araman Uchil, hitting the deck, getting it to bounce. So what do you make of the conditions? It's a beautiful day for cricket here.
Oh, absolutely. Lovely weather at the moment. The humidity gives it a different sort of factor. In terms of the conditions, for me, this is a new one, seeing a pitch with barely any grass on it. So I'll just wonder how the second innings, more importantly, will go. Does the pitch hold together? Seems like the bounce is, it's a bit up and down a bit, but mostly consistent. But yeah, I suppose as a bowling all-rounder, there's some stuff that excites you, some stuff that worries you, but that's just the nature of the game.
It's a good delivery, punched back. Ariman seems to have worked out his line and length better. So tell me, Aditya, are you based out of Gaborone or Francistown?
Out of Gaborone, yeah. So while I did spend the early parts of my life in Francistown, I pretty much am from the Gaborone city, yeah.
I remember playing cricket in Francistown about a good 22 years ago.
A long time back, but yeah, I was only 2 years old at the time. But yeah, I mean, small area, small city, but it has expanded, and we're starting to see it pay a little bit of dividends in the youth system coming up in Botswana cricket.
Well, it speaks a volume to have you here, join us and play in the EPS in Singapore all the way. It's a great experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what Singapore cricket is doing, especially calling overseas players, is pretty amazing work. I don't think anything like this has been done in any other associate cricket nation. So we'd like to say a big thank you to Singapore Cricket Association for making this possible. We're eternally grateful. For us, this is a great venue to showcase our skills. Singapore are much higher ranked than us. We came off the back of a good Africa C qualifier, especially beating Namibia. So we wanted to face teams of similar sort of caliber as well and give it a real good go. If we can give a good account of ourselves here, then we can take that back and go back to Botswana cricket and really emphasize that, hey guys, if we really put our minds and dedication and soul into this, we can actually be at the level that they're at the moment.
Tucked away to wide mid-on. Charles is demonstrating excellent stamina here. And more importantly, a very good head on the shoulders. He's bowling brilliant areas and not giving much away to the batsman. Similarly, SG Crimsons banking on the Param brothers to do the number here. They're batting well, sensibly. Oh dear. I almost put the mockers on them.
Proper commentators, Cass.
So have you had a chance to get a couple of practice sessions in, or you just landed yesterday and joined the practice session yesterday, is it?
I managed to join the Crimson and the Crescent's training sessions. I was kind of bouncing between the two. I mean, maybe sneakily checking out some tactics, but more a case of I was just itching to get out here and just play a bit of cricket. Not really a fan of sitting around doing nothing really.
Oh, that seemed like an outside edge.
Good ball, really good areas, yeah.
Just evaded the gloves of a diving Manpreet Singh. Prasheen Param can count himself lucky. That was a brilliant delivery. Great areas, jagged away, collected the edge, and the batsman will take the 4 runs.
Fortune favors the brave. Top areas. Charles should just continue. I think he's doing a wonderful job at the moment.
So your side, the SG Stars, is coached by... There we go. Oh, that's a very, very soft dismissal.
Ooh, it's a no ball.
And a no ball's being called. Oh dear. Oh dear. That was a great slow ball. Lured the batsman into the false shot, but minor detail, he overstepped.
It's a funny game. It's a really funny game. Just when you think you're down and out, you always get a little bit of a lifeline. Should be interesting to see. Free hit, I assume?
I think Prasheen will go for this one. Oh, very well bowled by Charles there. Very intelligent bowling.
Good comeback. He'll be kicking himself. He's bowled extremely well. There was an opportunity to get the 3rd wicket there within this 5-over spell at the moment. Quality player for Uganda. He's been bowling extremely well for his team in recent history, and he's showing his quality.
So Singapore is really proving to be the melting pot. We're having all countries from Africa and the region represented here, and it's going to expand as the years go on. And I'm sure you guys will take your memories and promote more players to come and play this league.
No, absolutely. So far, so good for me. I mean, it's very early days, but I've thoroughly enjoyed my stay. And obviously, you know, moving on to future fixtures, maybe getting more and more people coming through. It'll be extremely awesome. I think, once again, Singapore Cricket Association is taking big steps in increasing the amount of game time as associate players are getting good quality game time as well.
SG Crimson's 35 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of the first power play in 10 overs. They'll be happy not to have lost a 3rd and to have a little partnership going. Aryaman Uchil with the ball in hand is going to try and change that. That's a great shot. Bang!
That is a tremendous shot.
Naveen Param, growing up as a youngster, has played a lot of cricket on this ground. He's using his experience, and I think he knows the best place to go is straight on the Indian Association ground. That was a magnificent shot.
A shot of great confidence and attitude, walking right at the bowler and dispatching him over the top of mid-off.
Manpreet Singh responds by bringing the mid-off slightly straighter. Let's see how Aryaman responds. Responds with a Jaffa that jagged away.
Good comeback. Absolutely vital as a bowler to put the last ball out of your head, especially if it's a bad one. Take every ball as it is, and showed great composure and great skill.
Yeah, so Aditya, coming back to my previous discussion, so SG Stars is also coached by Bilal Asad, the Singapore national coach. So how's the experience been working with him? I know B puts a lot of emphasis on basics and fitness. There's a big shout there, going down the leg side.
Yep. So far, my interactions with Bilal have been quite frequent. I'm crashing at his house at the moment. It's been a real privilege. I mean, Bilal holds a tremendous amount of experience as well. We have our first official training session this evening. I thoroughly place the value of fitness as well on myself, and I think we're just going to have a great time. I thoroughly enjoy what he brings, and I'm hoping to learn a lot from him.
So what do you think is going to be a good total on this track? Batting first.
From what I've seen, 10 overs, just over 10 overs for 40 for 2 here at the moment. If Parishin Param can stay in for a while and really dig deep, I really don't see anything less than 250. I think anywhere between 250 and 280 would be half decent total. From what I've seen, I think spin might play a vital role in maybe bringing down a total. So factoring that in, a real resilient middle period and a big push with wickets in the hand in the end, I think you get a pretty decent total, because the pitch is, even though there is no grass, it is a pretty decent batting wicket as well.
SG Crescents have Ananta Krishna in their ranks as well, Singapore national leg spinner. You should be looking forward to bowling on this a bit later.
Absolutely.
I think the most important thing is for these two batsmen, once they've gotten in, now they've both played around 25 deliveries each, just to continue batting and not throw it away.
Yeah, absolutely. From what you can see on the scorecard here, it seems as though you do have to play yourself in. It's not a sort of wicket where you can come in and hit it from ball one. But you do get value for good strokes here. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy the way they're going about their business at the moment. The bowling has been fairly disciplined. It's been pretty good, and it's been negated pretty well as well. So I think Charles has bowled extremely well. He's really held it together and taken up 2 crucial wickets at the moment.
As we speak, there's a bowling change happening.
If I'm not mistaken, James Cox is back into the lineup.
Yeah, Coxey's had a change of ends and he's coming from the Serangoon Road end. I think he was opening the bowling here from down at the Balestier end. So they might be looking to get the spinner on from this side. Crimson's 40 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 11 overs. It's a wide delivery.
He'll just be looking to get her about a foot straighter. He bowls a good sort of length there, a bit taller than the average bowler here as well. So, James Cox also has a tremendous ability behind him. I'm sure he's probably just settling into the conditions a bit, maybe feeling around a bit.
So much better delivery. Naveen Param played it extremely well by leaving it.
The Crimsons here just going through a period of minor consolidation, just making sure that, because 2 quick wickets here could completely derail the run total.
That's another wide.
They are at a stage where they'd feel as though they'd have to develop some kind of a partnership here, because as I mentioned before, 1 generally does bring 2, and 42 for 4 would be a completely different scoreline. And yeah, I think both teams here are on the cusp of something happening here at the moment.
In between deliveries, Manpreet Singh having a chat to his leg spinner, Ananta Krishna, down at deep third man. I'm sure they're working out what fields to have, etc. But yeah, I think on this IA wicket, for the bowling side, to keep extras down to a minimum, and for the batting side, to pick those singles, it's going to be gold dust. It's a much better delivery.
Yeah.
I'm getting the feeling that Coxey is trying to set him up. Wide, bring one back in.
Yeah, Naveen Param, I want to be a bit careful here. He's kind of just feeling it a bit and really planting that front foot there. So it will be an interesting observation here.
It's a good comeback. James Cox seems to have got his radar adjusted. He's bowling to a plan and to his field. So talk us through a little bit about the Botswana cricket scene. How has it developed now, and how many teams do you all have in the league? And what's the intensity like? It's a good ball.
Sure thing. The Botswana Cricket Association at the moment, we have two main divisions. We have the BCA League, which is teams from Gaborone. That would be 3 teams, predominantly made up of an under-19 team. And then basically the senior players are split into 2 different teams. That's kind of mixed. Each year they make slight tweaks. Oh, real tennis ball bounce on that ball there. But yeah, coming back, each team kind of maintains a core group of players. Obviously the under-19 team is probably more changing because people past the age of 19 naturally. Yeah, there's a Lobatse team as well, and Silibe Pikwe team, and a Francistown team as well. Each respective jurisdiction has their own games there, and then obviously the semi-finals is like a mixture where teams from Gaborone will face the winner of the Pikwe and Francistown League and so on and so forth. We still also have the Gaborone Cricket Club, which has its own respective league as well. Probably not at the same sort of standard as the BCA League, but definitely some quality players also lurking there as well. Far more teams involved. There's an A League and a B League, typically around 8 to 10 teams in the A League and about 10 to 12 teams in the B League. In terms of the development of the game, we do have a grassroots program that the Botswana Cricket Association has implemented, where young children from public and private schools around the country get themselves involved in training. We bring physical aid teachers or PE teachers from around the countries of their respective schools to come on cricket coaching courses, and then they take the information that they have and reflect it back there.
Right, Ananta Krishna, as we thought, is coming on from the Balestier Road end. He plays his cricket here at the Indian Association and would love to take this wicket everywhere he goes in his back pocket. He's bowled and sent down a lot of overs here, so let's see how this goes.
I had a look at him last night in the nets. He has the ability to bowl a monster ball that turns an astronomical amount. So certainly has a tremendous ability behind him, and I'm looking forward to see what he has. I think spin will be the game changer here, for sure.
Manpreet is attacking with his slips and short catches at cover straight away. He's looking for the 3rd wicket.
Starts off with a bit of loosener, but he gets away with it.
A long time back when ICC had one of their functions here, and I was privileged to have a chat with the great Clive Lloyd. And at his disposal he had 4 great fast bowlers. And the point he said that each of them did very well was bowl their first ball on the money. Irrespective of whether you're a spinner or a fast bowler, as you play a higher level of cricket, you can't have warm-up balls.
Well, yeah, I understand where he's coming from. Nothing feels better than running in hard and bowling in the right areas from the first ball. It just sets the right tone for the rest of the innings. You'll find that it'll come more naturally to you because the first ball is often the loosener. But if your loosener is one of your better balls, I think you'll find your rhythm coming to you a lot quicker.
That's a much better delivery.
They're going about this the right way here, the batsmen, just giving it a good knockabout. Nothing senseless about the cricket here.
I just want to bring the attention, I think Prashin did something very smart there, the way he was backing up And at the same time, subtly, he was allowing the ball to pass him. And not, oh, that's close. It's a big appeal.
Not out.
Seems to be sliding down the leg side.
Yeah, a little bit cheeky there, but you know, that's part of the game. A few tactics to get that little inch, little advantage.
Smart batting here.
Extremely smart. There's no real need to accelerate at the moment now. I think the game plan is very intelligent at the moment. Knock it about, hit the bad ball, but stay disciplined in your approach. Oh.
Yeah, just going back to that previous single where I think it was Naveen who punched it down to long on.
Mm-hmm.
Prasheen was at the non-strikers.
Yep.
What he did absolutely correctly was back up in such a way where the bowler could not field it off his own bowling. And these are little things that, you know, as you play higher cricket, every run matters. And yeah, if there are any youngsters watching at home, that's how it's done. These two have batted really well and taken it through to the first drinks break. So the Crescents would be happy with that, and the Crimsons at the end of 13 overs are 45 for the loss of 2 wickets. Aditya, I want to really thank you for joining us and helping out in the commentary.
Absolutely.
Makes it really interesting, and to get a perspective of how foreign players see the league and coming and playing in Singapore, and also to get to hear a little bit about the Botswana cricket scene.
Yeah, it's been an absolute privilege. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
Cheers.
Singapore, let's play! Singapore, let's play!
Manpreet Singh is not going to be happy with the extras conceded. So allowing the batsman to settle in here. It's a good partnership building. Naveen Param would feel he missed out on that juicy full toss leg side. That's a good delivery. SG Crescents 48 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 14 overs. I beg your pardon, Crimsons. The Crescents have conceded 10 extras in 14 overs, and that's something the coach is going to have an eye on. Crimsons will be very happy with the way these two batsmen have dug in, and they're going about their business, batting sensibly and showing a lot of patience. Right, Ananta Krishna for his second over. I get the feeling somebody might have got a bit of sunscreen onto that ball, and it's making the seam a bit slippery. Because Ananta's bowling a fair few full tosses here. That's a good shot. Naveen Param batting very sensibly here, hitting the markers at long on and long off, picking up the singles. That is exactly what the doctor has ordered for the Crimsons. Once again punched down to long on for a single. Charles Vishwas patrolling the long on boundary. Uganda national player. That's a much better delivery. Ananta seems to be settling into his rhythm. SG Crimsons 51 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 15 overs. The batsmen have gone in to change their bats, which seems to be a luxury the modern players have these days. They carry a few bats with them. It's a luxury that we didn't have. Yogi, my old friend, tells me. We used to carry one bat for 2 seasons. Had he met. Manpreet Singh marshalling his troops, getting them in the exact correct locations. He's looking for that 3rd wicket. There's a good partnership building up here for the Crimsons. There's a change of bowling from the Serangoon Road end. Roger Mukasa. Snuck away down to short third man for a single. Leg byes it is. Roger Mukasa seemed to be a wily customer. Naveen Param marks his guard. Been really impressed with the way that this youngster is going about his business. Seems to have a good head on his shoulders. He's not too excited by the situation. Seems to be a very dependable young player. Sweeper is coming in now to cut off the single. Gaza bowling a tight line here, inviting the batsman. There's a long on, long off, deep mid wicket and a deep square leg, patrolling the boundaries. It's a good sweep shot there. 4 runs. Beautifully played. Naveen Param is batting brilliantly. So waiting for the loose deliveries and converting them expertly. SG Crimson's 56 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 16 overs. It's a good partnership building here. Crimsons would want this partnership to continue. Prashin Param to face Ananta Krishna. Punched into deep covers for a single. Young Prashin Param is an elegant batsman, tall, young right-hander, using his reach, making it look effortless here. Slog sweep for 4. Bang. Great shot. Naveen Param has decided that one had to go. Manpreet Singh making the adjustments to his deep square leg. Seems to be the slider, sent down slightly faster. Be disappointed with that one, Naveen. It's a full toss again. Hitting straight to the fielder, Karthik Subramaniam. Doing the patrolling there in the short mid-wicket region. At the end of 17 overs, Crimsons are 61 for the loss of 2 wickets. Once again, knocked into the offside. Roger Mukasa seemed to have got into his line and length, and more importantly, bowling at the right pace on this wicket, giving nothing away for the batsman to work. Oh, almost a little mix-up. The batsman recover in time. Good bit of fielding there, cuts off the single. That's a brilliant delivery. That one spun and kick, beating the outside edge. This is very good bowling by Roger Mukasa, keeping it tight for the Crescents. Oh, that's not the best bit of fielding. 2 runs there, cut away backward of point. Ananta Krishna there, meandering at short third man. I'm sure the captain's going to give him a earful. Once again, knocked down to long off for a single. Roger Mukasa is not going to be too happy about allowing that off his own bowling. Crimson 64 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 18 overs. Nicely going along. Prasheen and Navin Param doing the business for the Crimsons. It's an intelligent partnership here. Manpreet Singh bringing the changes. Looks like Karthik Subramaniam is going to be brought on from the Balestier Road end. Very passionate young cricketer. Plays his cricket here at the Indian Association Cricket Ground. So once again, very familiar with these conditions. Would be interesting to see how he bowls and at what pace he bowls on this wicket. Outside edge, well fielded at deep third man there. Saved 3 runs off an educated edge by Prasheen Param. He'll take those. That was a good first ball. Five men cutting the single in the 30 yards. The boundary riders are deep third man, sweeper cover, long off, long on. There's a deep mid wicket. Oh. Karthik Subramaniam settling into a good line and length here. Really impressed by the way Navin Param is batting here. It's looking solid. Nothing seems to be rushing him. The sun is starting to bake down on the Indian Association wicket, and as the day progresses and the ball too becoming softer, the batsmen will have to use their footwork. That's a fine shot. Tucked away on the legs. Cox doing the fielding. Good running, good cricket, 2 runs. Once again, it's a public holiday here in Singapore for the Chinese New Year. So if you're anywhere nearby, do come down to the Indian Association Cricket Ground. It's a wonderful day for the cricket. Beautiful batting here. Naveen Param punching it to long off, collecting those singles. Crimsons will be very happy with this partnership. It's banking in the singles. They'll be looking to preserve the wickets towards the end, then take it from there. Once again, easy single punch down to long on. Crimson 69 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 19 overs. I'm going to be joined by Bilal Asad, the national coach, for a stint in the Combox. Thanks, B, for your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So your team, the SG Stars, are not on shore, but I know you're keeping a keen eye on proceedings. That's a great shot, down the wicket, bang, 6. Roger Mukasa lobbing it up there. Prasheen Param using his feet, getting down to the pitch of it and depositing it over the side screen. Beautiful shot. How important is the footwork going to be on this track, B?
I think that's the most important part. Onto this wicket, I think you have to use your feet. As you know, that probably this is a wicket which is going to spin quite a bit. And there are only 2 ways, I believe. The one is using your feet, and the other one is probably playing the sweep shot, if you have got that shot now.
Now, I saw you speaking to young Ananta Krishna regarding his first over and the first spell. It was a very animated discussion, to say the least, but I'm sure you're keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, basically I have to. Being a head coach of this team, knowing everybody, we need these players to perform well. And result is that we want these players to play for the country. And I believe that he didn't bowl well. For the first 2 overs was more like probably just flighting it too much. This is a wicket where even if he would have started off earlier, I believe that he should have been brought in after they got the 2 wickets. But bowling 3 overs, 3 to 4 overs, and it wasn't the best of him today.
Sure, he'll come back. He's a competitor. Roger Mukasa. Just punch down the ground to mid-off. Good bit of running there. The Param brothers have stolen a single. There's good understanding between the two. And it's good to see Prasheen getting out of the blocks as well now. I think the Crescents will have to be aware of this partnership building.
They need to. I'll tell you one thing, that's Naveen Param, a real good batsman. And he's one of those players who's not going to throw his wicket away. He's going to go and probably score those 80s and even 100s. And the way they have to go on is they have to take his wicket. If they don't do it, I think there's going to be a total of 200 odd, which is going to be a very good total onto this wicket.
Almost a little mix-up, but they've recovered well. Yeah, Naveen looks like a real intelligent young player. He's a bit old school almost, I can say. He does the basics really well. It's played across the line. Roger Mukasa believes There's a case for an appeal.
It was close. If it was pitching on line, probably it would have been really close. But he's bowling good. If you watch him, probably putting in the right areas, that's what you need to do onto this track.
He's decided to go around the wicket, and Manpreet has got the fielders in place. So at that, they're looking to set a trap for Naveen. Crimson 76 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 20 overs. So B, how's the preparations been going on with the Stars? Have you got all your foreign players in?
Yes, we have. There's one player who's coming from Pakistan. He's going to be here by 11:30. He's probably reaching over here. I think we have got the full side now. There will be some of the players like Arjun Mutreja has, because of family problems, I think he had to travel to India, but he's going to be back for the second game.
Karthik Subramaniam continues from the Balestier Road end. He's got into a good line and length straight away. This edition of the EPS 2019 has both the 50-over games and the T20s. How do you see that helping your preparations?
I think it's going to help quite a lot. Getting a 50-over format in, I think that's going to help the national team probably quite a lot, because of the reason that we are going to be playing later on into the year. We are going to play the 50 overs. And then having the T20, that's going to help us for the T20 qualifiers, which is going to be coming in July, end of July. So overall, I believe that these two formats having together, it's more testing for the players, how they're going to probably change their way of batting, looking into a T20 where there's more attacking cricket, 50 over where we're looking at positive cricket, playing for the strike rates and stuff. So I think it's a very good one.
Single there to long off. Aritra Aditya getting a bit of awkward bounce there. I'm looking forward to watching him bat later on. The tank from SCC.
I think he has to. He is the backbone of the team. He's one of those players who's done really well into the EPS. I have to mention this as probably he came into the national team because of his performance into the EPS. This is what the EPS brings to Singapore. These players, the talented young players, even the two batting inside, real talented players. The only thing is whether the performances they're going to come up over here playing against and playing with the experience of overseas players. So this is the testing for them. That's where the temperament comes on. And I think these two are doing it really well. We have had a chat with all of these players, all the Singapore players, that this is a platform where they can probably score, perform and get to the national teams.
Once again, tucked down the leg side, no single. Yeah, it's wonderful ecosystem to see these youngsters performing in it and new players coming and straight away mixing with overseas players, and the quality of cricket is right up there, and it's only going to augur well for Singapore cricket going forward. Karthik Subramaniam wants a little adjustment to his field. Manpreet has come up to the stumps. Inside edge, going towards deep fine leg. The batsman pick off 2. That was a good delivery, jack back in.
Yes, I think he's very useful onto these type of tracks. He's got a very good slow one. So he just needs to contain. The only thing which I feel for the bowlers, they have to ball into the stumps line because the odd ball might keep a bit low. So you have to probably take advantage of the wicket. The spinners will get the benefit. Yeah, there's no doubt that Anantha, as we expected, did not bowl to that extent. But he's one of those guys who will come back really strong. He has performed into every international tournament. But that's the performance which you need over here for him to probably take this side to win.
With all the foreign players coming in and the good, healthy competition that's created in this EPS, I think every player has to be on the top of their game.
Yes, you're right about this. And good to see that there's going to be some youngsters under 19s playing this. This is probably what SCA is trying to do. If you watch, there's going to be Wicket over here, who's going to play under 19. He's into the under 17s as well. But real talented guys. And this is probably a place where they can get the experience. Like you have said, probably the overseas players and quality. I would say that quality overseas players. I've seen all the expats into the practices yesterday and probably day before. And I believe that even those bowlers can bowl, even if you're talking about the bowlers, they can bowl to 140s. Even the one who's coming from Pakistan, he clocks an average of 140. So this is what we require in Singapore, and I think Singapore cricket is probably looking into it.
Oh, he's got him. Prasheen Param was lured into that shot by a very smart delivery from James, and then the stumping expertly done by Manpreet Singh. Sorry, Roger Mukasa, the wily off spinner. That's a big loss for the Crimsons. Manpreet Singh lightning behind the stumps. That was a very good partnership of 71 runs, and it's been separated by a great bit of bowling by Roger Mukasa, great bit of wicket keeping by Manpreet Singh. Janak Prakash, captain of SG Crimsons, walks into the middle. Another exciting young prospect for Singapore cricket. Good batsman, good fast bowler. He's got a job to do for his team here. B, what do you think is going to be a good total on this track?
I think anything over the 200 mark is going to be a very good total. 180, I still feel that it's not going to be that easy to probably get those. The wicket is going to get more spin with time, and probably the second innings might be a bit harder than the first one. So I feel that anything which is going to be over 180 should be the total to win it. Having Naveen there, Janak, I think everybody knows that he can bat. He's a good batsman, a good all-rounder. And this partnership is going to be a very, very crucial part for them.
And the Crescents would like to see the back of Janak Prakash as soon as possible. And Manpreet Singh straight away on the attack. Spot his short cover up there, short mid-wicket, inviting the batsman. If you want to go over the top, be my guest. It's good captaincy here. Roger Mukasa has welcomed Janak Prakash to the crease with a friendly full toss on Chinese New Year. I guess he's being polite.
I think I'll tell you one thing. Manpreet getting the covers in, I think that's a really good move of his to get the pressure in, make the batsman play the cover drive, playing against the spin. But I believe that this probably the first ball from Mukasa to the new batsman, I think it was quite a loose one.
Young Janak Prakash reminds me of another young all-rounder I saw in Sri Lanka who went on to captain Sri Lanka, Angelo Matthews. Similar build, and he can hit the ball powerfully. End of the 22nd over. Crescents are 87 for the loss of 3 wickets. I think this is where the players must do the little things right, and the first ball to a new batsman or the first ball of a spell, it has to be on the money. You cannot release the pressure.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good change. Getting Anantha back, I think that's a very good change. Janak loves to play the sweep shots. I think he's one of those guys who can probably get him out and probably. But overall, I believe that you need to get Navin out. You need to probably put a bit of more pressure onto them. So that's where the game can change.
I think Manpreet is showing a good presence of mind to read the situation, especially here now with the loss of that wicket of Prasheen. He's looking for another one quickly. Good aggressive running. I'm pretty sure Manpreet Singh is going to have a word to Anantha Krishna here. It is Chinese New Year, but it's no reason to be bowling hampers. My old friend Dharmichan Muleva, the wily off-spinner, looking at proceedings behind the comm box, seems to agree. That's a much better delivery. Smart batting as well. I really like this kid. Now in Param, he's batting brilliantly. Putting the loose ones away and banking those singles. It's gold dust.
Yes, there's no doubt. He's a very good, he's a very talented player. I wouldn't say a very stylish. I wouldn't go into the style part, but he knows how to score runs. He knows how to build up the innings, and that's the plus point which he has, and that's what you require.
Bottom edge down to deep fine leg. Gone for a auspicious boundary. The batsman will take it. Anantha would feel a bit unlucky there. That was a good delivery, the slider. But I think his captain wants him to loop it, try and get that edge. Not to help the batsman out by bowling it flat into the track.
Well, I believe that he has to spin the ball, and it's. I can understand why, because this is a track where it should be spin for anybody. So he needs to probably go for that spin instead of probably trying too much.
Beautifully swept to deep square leg. That area is covered by young Vinit Mehta, patrolling the boundary. 95 for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of 23 overs. There seems to be a change of bowling. Irfan Nasir, the off-spinner, coming on from Serangoon Road end. Looks like it's going to be baptism by spin. Manpreet Singh ringing in the changes, looking for the wickets. The batsmen playing their shots. Good intense cricket, good battle out there. And once again, the crowd is building. It's a national holiday in Singapore here for the Chinese New Year. So if you're anywhere nearby, do come in. Great game of cricket and a beautiful day for cricket today. Upishly cut away, outside edge. Goes to the boundary for 4. Might have missed a trick not to have a slip there. But then, as they say, hindsight is 20/20. Well, Janak is off to a bit of a scorcher, 15 off 8 balls. I had a little chat to Irfan yesterday. He was training. Really looking forward to this outing today. That's a good delivery. He does turn them off breaks a long way.
Yes, he does. The only thing is that he has to finish into the stumps line. That's one thing which he has to concentrate on. I think the first ball was a loosener. Still okay, because Janak is one of those players, he has done it for Singapore earlier for the under-19s, he scored 50s, and he will probably play his shots. He's not going to stay there, and not only stay there and not score runs, no, he will go for the runs and probably try to rotate the strikes and look for the boundaries. And that's a good one, that's a great ball. I believe this is the line which he should be bowling at. Let Janak play those sweep shots from there, and there's going to be a chance coming then.
I did pick up the throw into the square from 30 yards by young Ananta Krishna. I think he's trying to get the shine off the ball, which is not such a bad thing.
Don't want to say a thing about that. No comments.
Punched away to long on. Janak seems to be settling in. I think that's the great thing about this tournament. Every team is trying to garner every inch of advantage, and the intensity is really good, so that contributes to a great level of cricket. Seems to be bowling a little slider, holding the seam flatter. At the end of 24 overs, Crimson's 100 for the loss of 3.
I think it was a decent over, apart from the first ball. I believe probably the remaining 5 balls pitched on the right areas. So that's what you need to do. Try if you can probably stop the singles, the rotation of theirs, and then probably they'll go for the shots.
How crucial is it to have wickets in hand at the end to accelerate?
I think it's very crucial. I believe that Janak knows that. He's done the captaincy before, he knows the situation well, and that's what they're going to go on and probably bat till the probably 35, 40 overs. I believe that the next 10 overs, that's a real crucial one, where if these two stay there, I think there's a total on the board, there's going to be about 220, 230 on the board, because both of them can open up probably at the end.
Beautifully bowled. Well, I'm glad we are here in the conditioned air of the com box. It's looking like a scorcher out there. It's great weather for cricket though. Swept down to fine leg for 4. Ananta wouldn't mind that. That was a good delivery.
Yes, but the only thing is still he's trying to ball onto probably the leg stump line. I believe that probably the off stump line should be a better one. Let the batsman go over the top of the mid-off, and probably that's where he's going to get a chance. You know that he plays the sweeps well, and you're probably giving him those shots to score the runs.
And I also feel the pace at which he's bowling, he's trying to bowl it a bit too fast.
You're right, spot on.
The support staff and the team managers doing a great job, keep the players hydrated. And I saw even coming in early this morning, the practice, the pre-match sessions, beautifully laid out, and everybody seemed to be raring to go.
Yeah, it's a very good atmosphere. We know that this EPS, I think it brings everybody together. We have got that probably mode which is required. That's a really loose work from him, from Ananta. A really lazy one.
Manpreet Singh, the captain, is going to be losing hair.
Yeah, these are the singles which is going to matter quite a lot. You need to stop the runs, but you can't give the runs like this. That's a better delivery.
At the end of 25 overs, we've reached the halfway mark. Crimsons are 105 for the loss of 3 wickets. Irfan Nazir continuing from the Serangoon Road end. Twelfth man's getting on the park. Ananta Krishna seems to be heading out for a little bit of icing. That's a good delivery. Upishly played, deep third man for 2 runs. Well, Janak Prakash has come out with the mindset that he's not going to die wandering today. He's really going for it. He's at a strike rate of well above 100. Well, Naveen Param, on the other hand, calm, cool, collected. I think it's looking like a good combination. Hopefully they can continue the partnership.
Yeah, there's only one, I cannot understand one thing, and that is probably bowling with a feel of 5-4 on a spinning track, and I believe that they should be having 5 onto the onside. That's a good delivery, superb delivery. Probably missed everything.
Unlucky, 4 byes, beautifully bowled though, lovely flight, drew the batsman forward, beat him all ends up, including the wicket keeper. Yeah, I got to agree with you there, B. It's 5-4, but it should be on the onside.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you've seen the last ball, it spun. So on a track where it's going to be spinning, if your line is probably too much outside the off stump, that means you're probably thinking of giving a batsman a cut shot or something. Otherwise, I believe that with this amount of spin, if you probably finish into the stumps line, you'll need 5 onto the onside.
Janak Prakash would feel he missed out on that one. Quick single tucked away to the leg side.
That's, I believe, that this is the place where the fielder should have been, the shot fine.
I can feel the intensity sitting next to Bilal Asad. It's radiating, mate. He's engrossed in the game. It's a wonderful atmosphere down here at IA in the Balestier Road.
And that's a great delivery.
$112 at the end of 26 overs. I think it's going to be time for a drinks break. We're back live. Charles Wishwa brought in from the Balestier Road end. He's going to be bowling his 6th over. So far 5 overs, 2 for 12. Bowled brilliantly up front. Manpreet Singh looking to break this partnership right after the drinks break. Naveen Param on strike. Here we go. Welcome back, B. Charles Wishwa. Naveen Param starting again. I'm really impressed with his approach to this innings, understanding what the team requires of him and playing the situation very well.
Yes, I think it's turning out to be a real crucial, a really important knock for the team. They've brought Charles in. I believe they want a wicket over here. And he's playing as nicely, taking a single, rotating the strike, waiting for the right time to probably attack. The way things are going, I think Crimsons are looking good. 114 of 3 of 26.3 overs, still about 24 overs, close to 24 overs to go, 23.3. And the target over here, it looks like about 220 is on.
Good areas again by Charles Wishwa. Yeah, I think it's crucial that 2 batsmen, once they get in, that they do not throw their wickets away and they take it deep into the innings and make sure they make it count. Shahrukh Dar with a bit of advice there.
Good, sensible cricket. That's what Janak needs to do for the next 10 overs. Stick with Naveen. I believe that I think they're going to be cruising then.
It's really wonderful to see these 2 youngsters bat along together. And I've seen them progress from the younger age divisions, and they seem to have matured really well, and this is going to only augur well for Singapore cricket.
Coming to Charles Wishwa, I think he's bowled really well. He's taken 2 wickets for 14 runs in 6 overs on a wicket which was not supporting the fast bowlers, but he's bowled really good. Probably the line length has been superb, hitting those areas right, and that's what he did in the last over as well.
Crimson's 115 for 3 at the end of 27. Still a long way to go in this innings. I think the Crescents should be looking for a wicket here, and I think the best way to restrict the team on this type of track is to continue picking wickets. Irfan Nazir to continue from the Serangoon Road end after the drinks.
I think it's a good change by Manpreet to probably get a short fine leg. And that's a good change as well, getting the mid-off up. So that's something which is probably, I think, that's good to see, the youngster thinking about these things. To be honest, I'm really impressed by the way Irfan balls. I believe that he has to get his fitness right. Good action, the way he delivers, the way he releases the ball, and good areas to ball.
You're a hard man, B. I know you're going to put them through the mill and you focus on the fitness.
I think it is. He needs that, and we have to get the fitness level up. That's what counts for us. I think our performances, if you see, that's one of the plus points in that is probably the fitness level of the boys have gone up. And I believe that we need to work on this, especially for him as well, to get his fitness up. That's good bowling according to the field. And this is what I believe that the off spinner should be doing, using the mid-wicket and short fine fielders and finishing into the stumps line. And I think he's doing it pretty well.
Seems like he's settled into a good line and length. Excellent running between the wickets. Once again, Naveen Param is on the scooter. It's keeping the scoreboard ticking.
Yeah, that was a good run. But I believe when a bowler is bowling good and you've got about 3 or 4 dot balls, then the fielders should be probably supporting them. And I feel that probably Ananta was a bit slow onto that ball. He should have stopped that single. This is where the pressure is going to build up and you can get the wicket. The fielders have to support the bowlers.
Once again, really challenging the men in the 30-yard circle, stealing those singles. I tell you, Naveen Param is looking very impressive right now. Both his elder brothers, Anish and Prashin, are much more elegant players. But I tell you what, if I was in a war in the trenches, I'd pick this man with me.
He's already there. There's no doubt about it, Chamabe. He has played for Singapore. He's represented Singapore. Even in the SEA Games, he's scored runs. Because of the reason that he's into the university and there are times when he cannot get the release, that's one of the problems which he has. But he undoubtedly, he's one of those people to be looked at. And he is one of those openers we are looking at for a long term. He's talented, he knows how to build up the innings, he knows which bowlers to attack and when to attack, and it's really promising. It's good to see that.
And what's really good is he seems to be putting a price on his wicket.
That's a good run again. And if you see, even into the Premier League first game, he went on to score 90 odd. So he's one of those players who are probably looking at his performances to probably be consistent, and that's what we need for an opener. We need those hundreds coming from the openers, and he's one of those people who is probably knocking at the door again and again with his performances.
Good bit of fielding there. Cox cutting through to make sure that the batters don't cross. Shahrukh Dar tidying it up. It's good intensity. It's a hot day. It's a beautiful day for cricket. And it's a good contest. The Indian Association here today.
That's a good ball. He knows the track well, and that's what Charles is trying to do, just probably put it into the right area and probably change his pace. That's what he's doing, and I think he's doing it pretty well.
He also seems to be using the crease very well, at times getting closer to the umpire and times moving away. Good variations.
That's a really good run. Oh, that was superb fielding by James. Charles, he's been a regular member of the Uganda team, a very good player, a very good bowler, and his performances probably shows how good he is. Even in the last WCL, he was there, and he's been a regular member. So he knows, he's played cricket, he's experienced, he knows his strengths. He's not a really fast bowler, a quick bowler who bowls at 140, but he bowls into the right areas. He has got bowled the swings, and that's what you require. Now coming from round the wicket, he's cutting down that angle, finishing into the stumps line. He wants the batsman to make a mistake, and the one which is going to go away, I think that's going to be a really good one.
Think you've nailed it there, Beeb. Wicket to wicket. You miss, I hit. It's keeping it very simple.
Navin is batting on 40. I think he's got about 20 odd overs to go, and probably he is into that run of scoring even. He can score 100 over here. That's well played. Again, taking a single.
I think what's really important, even as a youngster, is to have that mindset, to be willing to go through the grind, bat for long periods of time, and once you're set, not to throw your wicket away. He seems to have these values which would do really well for him. He reminds me of a player back in Sri Lanka as a youngster who used to bat and bat and bat and who never threw his wicket away. His name was Thilan Samaravira. He later on went to score many double hundreds for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, he captained the side as well.
That's right.
Very good player.
Good shot. Hitting the markers and sweeper. Young Vineet Mehta patrolling the sweeper cover boundary. Single. SG Crimson's 120 for the loss of 3 after 29 overs. Once again, a good partnership building up. Janak Prakash making sure keeps the scoreboard ticking, playing the power shots when the ball is offered. Irfan seems to have gotten into the rhythm now. It's a very good delivery. Single stuck away. Oh, it's gone down to the boundary. You wouldn't mind that too much if you're a bowler. That was a very good delivery. You wouldn't mind it too much if you're a batsman on this wicket either.
Yeah, I think it's still 4 runs coming. These are the runs which has to be stopped, I believe. He's bowling really good and he needs to get that support from everybody.
Very good running between the wickets by these two again. Good young legs, good intent. I think the fielders in the 30 yards, they need to get their dancing shoes on.
Yeah, Chama, but I think this was a run which should have been stopped again. It was a good delivery, so he's not getting that support he should be getting it. And that's a good shot.
Beautifully played, beautifully fielded. 2 runs to sweeper.
These 30-yard fielders, I believe that they should be onto their toes, looking to stop those singles. That's a good run again. So I think these two are doing it pretty well. 128 for 3. 29.5, so probably the 30th over gone.
I think they're also targeting which fielders to push the single to, and they seem to be switched on. And once again, 2 fit batsmen, and they're really making it count. In this heat, you need to have your fitness right up there to keep collecting those singles. Roger Mukasa coming on, replacing Charles Wishwer from the Balestier Road end.
I think they need a wicket now. Both the batsmen are set. Navin on 45 and Janak on 31. So they're looking really good. So I think Manpreet has probably brought Roger to get one wicket, and that's a good delivery to start off.
Seem to have gripped and spun. Well, Naveen Param seems to be a bit adventurous with his stroke play now. Well, I hope he doesn't throw it away. He doesn't need to do anything different. He was batting brilliantly. He's trying to put Roger Mukasa off his line and length. He's too experienced for that.
That's a good run.
That's it. Back to good percentage cricket.
Yeah, Roger is quite experienced, captain of the Uganda side. Has been playing for long and probably representing his country as well. He's basically a batsman who bowls a bit of off spin.
Brilliantly bowled. Seems to be doing not much more than rolling his fingers over, but he's bowling a brilliant line and length. Manpreet Singh sharp there behind the stumps, making sure that the batsman would not attempt a single. Fielders in the 30 yards seem to have awakened.
So it was a good over for Crescents. Just one run of the over.
Crimson's 130 for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of 31 overs. Looks like there's going to be a bowling change. Looks like Ananta Krishna is going to come and roll his arm over from the Serangoon Road end. I think this is good captaincy. Keep the changes ringing, looking for the wicket, not allowing the batsman to settle into any sort of rhythm with the bowlers.
Yes, I think another good change. He needs a breakthrough. That's what I think Manpreet is trying to do. Get those bowlers in. You've got Mukasa. It was good thinking because he's got a defensive bowler who's going to look at the economy and this attacking bowler who's going to look for the wicket. So I think it's a good plan. From both sides, I think that's a good partnership, bowling partnership which they're going to have with these two.
I think Ananta will be bowling with a bit more intensity if he gets a wicket. But what he needs to understand is he needs to bowl intensely in order to get a wicket. It's a good shot. Down to long leg for a single. Yeah, I watched him grow up since he was a little kid when he first joined Ceylon Sports Club to play his cricket. And it's a good competitor. And he really gets fired up when he gets a wicket. He becomes a different bowler. That's a good delivery. Now he seems to be slowing the pace down and giving it a bit of loop.
Punch down to long off for a single. Dangerously close. Little lapse of concentration there. Trying to cut that one, which was a bit too close.